Hello and welcome to History Pod. On the 19th of March 1962, American singer-songwriter Bob Dylan released his eponymous debut album. Dylan had arrived in New York from Minnesota the previous year, but had quickly worked his way into the coffee houses and folk clubs of Greenwich Village. It was here that he became known to established folk singer Carolyn Hester, who invited him to join her as a harmonica player. Whilst rehearsing in her apartment in September, Dylan met Columbia Records talent scout John Hammond, who later stated that he decided to sign Dylan on the spot, although in reality the contract wasn't finalised until the end of October. Dylan's debut album was recorded over 6 hours of sessions on the 20th to the 22nd of November. Legend has it that the album cost $402 to produce, but this figure was only stated as a joke by Hammond, and the true cost is actually unknown. Although there were a couple of false starts, 5 of the final recordings on the album were the very first take, as Dylan refused requests to do a second. Only 2 of the tracks on Dylan's debut album were his own compositions, and the album itself failed to hit the Billboard Top 100, having sold less than 5,000 copies in its first year, and earning Dylan the nickname Hammond's Folly from fellow record executives. Despite this setback, however, Dylan returned to the studio shortly after the release of the first album to begin work on the second, which later was released as The Freewheeling Bob Dylan, and which consisted almost entirely of original songs. Opening with the now iconic Blowin' in the Wind, it was this second album that truly established Dylan as one of the greatest songwriters of his generation.